Hi everyone, it is Shamila here, and I finally have a chance to set up my phone to do this Concertina tutorial that I've been promising everyone for so long. This is a really very quick and easy chipboard mini album that you can put together in any size. The only thing is that your joiners, which I'm using black cardstock for my joiners, just to give you an idea of the size, your joiner is always 3 inches wide and the length of your album. Now I normally use I'm going to be doing an A5 one, and if you received a little kit from me, it would be in various sizes, except that your joiner would be the size of the width of your spine. So in this case mine is 14.8 because these are A5 sheets, and I like to do A5 because it's just under 6 inches, which means I can get 2 sheets out of a 12 by 12 card. So you need, if you have 10 pages, which I have here at the moment, you need 9 joiners. So your 9 joiners would be 3 inches wide by the length of your album. Now if I had to be doing the album this way, then that would be the length of my spine. I hope that makes sense. I tend to prefer to use a landscape because these are just normal cardboard joiners, so I don't want to put too much what would you call that, too much pressure or stress on the hinge of a cardboard. So this is like an album that you can do really quickly for someone, and one that's not going to be paged through that often. I must admit I've got one that I done maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago. If I think of how old the kids are now, yes, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. It's still working, it's still fine using the cardboard hinge. If you wanted to, you can reinforce these hinges with Tyvek, which is an almost indestructible paper kind of card or paper, and we do stock Tyvek if you are interested in A3 and a bigger size. Now essentially what I've done, because the first step that you need to do is to create an inch measurement on the margin of your chipboard. What I have done to make things easier for me so that I don't have to be measuring everything all the time, I used a piece of chipboard and I made myself a 1 inch measure. So this is my cover. I need 1 on the cover, but for every other page I need a measurement on either side. So I'm going to do one here as an example. So that will be my 1 inch measure there, and I'll flip it and I'll do the same on the other side. So that's my front cover, and then I've got the next one. So we'll do all the pages like this, and what I will do is I'm going to stop the video and then come back to you when I've done all mine, just so that the video isn't that long, and because I think it's a little bit boring for you to be watching me measure, I just wanted to show you the process of how I measure, just to make things a bit easier for me. I like to do things that makes my life easier. If you have a Tim Holtz ruler, that will also work well, but I just find that this system is quicker for me. So let me measure this out and then I will come back to you when I'm done. Okay, I'm on my last page and this is the back. So this one only needs 1 measure, like the front cover has 1, your back also just has 1. So I've got all my sheets here. The next step is to add some adhesive to our covers and our pages, and I use red tape. This is a 1-inch width tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that pencil line as a guide. Let me just see if you can see where I'm at. I think you can. So that is my measurement. There's my scissors. And I find that if I flip my chipboard and cut it like that, it works better for me. So I'm going to be adding tape to all my pieces right along that line. So the internal pages require tape on both sides, and we don't want any tape overhang, but we do want end to end coverage. And what I do is I hold down my one sheet and I stretch the tape along the line, and then I just press down. If you have a way of adhering your tape that works better for you, then of course that's what you do. So for example, that tape overhang I'm going to snip off, because after you're done with your album and you've got any tape overhang, it throws all the dust towards it. It just makes it look a little bit untidy. So I'm just going to do one more, and then I will do the rest on my own, so you don't have to watch me. It's like watching paint dry. You don't have to watch me put tape down, and you could possibly pause the video while you're doing yours, or watch once through, so that so that you get the gist of it, and then just follow afterwards. But this is really not a very difficult album to make. It's really quick and easy, and if you are in a bit of a rush, you need something very fast, this might be one option that you can go with. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and then I will come back to you when I've done all my tape. You can use normal double-sided tape, but as I always say, for construction purposes, I don't want my album to come loose, especially if you're gifting it to someone. If it's your own and it comes loose after a little bit, you know, you can always fix it. But if you're gifting it to someone, you want to use something that has longevity, that's not going to disintegrate and fall into pieces. And I know a lot of double-sided tapes, because I've been doing this for quite a long time, they tend to crack, go yellow after a while, and the glue becomes dry and brittle, and then it disintegrates. So for me, any construction that I'm doing, I use red tape just to make sure that it is not going to disintegrate into little pieces. So now that I've done my little bit of a lecture on tapes, I see I only have 3 left, so I might as well just carry on. It's a Saturday evening here, and what is the date today? I think it's the 25th of July. Honestly, I don't even keep tabs on the dates anymore. I threw out my calendar with this whole COVID thing. I feel like 2020 seems to be going by in a little bit of a blur. I I don't know how any of you feel about it, but it's been a scary blur of many unknowns that we've all had to face. I mean, there's a new normal now that people have to deal with, going out with masks, staying socially distant from people that we love, which is also, it's not an easy thing to do. I know, I miss my parents greatly. I'm very blessed to still have them around. And although I didn't see them every day before, those who know me for a long time know that on Friday afternoons my shop is generally closed, because that's mom and dad's day. So I would visit them on a Friday afternoon, because if I didn't make a point of doing that, I would just never get there. So Friday afternoons from 2 till 4:30 was my visiting time, and I miss that. I miss it. I do the shopping for them sometimes when I'm out. I buy them things, and I just drop off, because I don't want to be responsible for causing their ill health. And I think we all just need to be socially aware and socially responsible for the people that we care about. So while I was talking, I've got all that done, and now I'm going to burnish this, because chipboard is kind of a porous material, because if you wet it, it will absorb. And I find that if you don't burnish this, then the chipboard, the red tape tends to just peel off from the chipboard. So we want to make sure that there's a very good connection with the glue. And the bone folder I'm using is a tonic bone folder. It is a Teflon bone folder, and I got these a few months ago, I think in January, for a client who requested it. And because we have to buy minimum quantities, I had to buy a few just to try it out. And I was so thrilled with this thing, because when you are scoring and folding things, especially dark card, you don't get that ugly line or shiny marks on your cardstock when you are using the Teflon bone folder. And it is hellishly expensive. I mean, I think this one came in this time now at over 370 Rand. But I think it's a once-off investment. This is one of those things that you need to keep an eye on. I think on my desk, I make sure I put it on the same place every single time, because of the cost. I don't want it to go missing. So I take extra special care of that, like I do of my scissors, and basically all my tools. They all have their own little spot, and if I can't find it, I tend to go a little bit nuts, because you know, we spend lots of money on this hobby and can't be losing things like that. So once this has all been scored and burnished, well, this is more burnishing, it's not scoring. So once this has been burnished, we can then go on to the next step. And like I thought, I was going to stop the video and do it and come back to you. With all that chitter chatter, I have basically finished my burnishing. So that's the second last one. This is my cover, so there's only one. Okay, so that's done. Then what we are going to need next is a scoring tool. A scoring board. So I have got my Hinge on here, and I score with a metal tip because I find it works better. You could probably do this one, and I'm just worried I'm going to blunt the tip, and I don't want to do that, so this one doesn't blunt. So we've got our 3.5 inches at the top of the scoreboard, and halfway down we're going to score that. Right, so we've got it scored in the middle, and this, for this particular purpose, this has to be 3 inches wide, and I will explain to you why in a little while. So I've done all my others already in preparation prior to the video. Now, if you've never scored anything or folded anything that you scored before, the process of scoring is quite simple, but the process of folding is towards the bubble side. So if you scored on this side, you fold. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. My phone was full and it decided to close up on me. So I was in the process of explaining to you that you're scoring on the one side, and then when you folding it, you're folding it towards that bubble side. So if this is the side that you're scoring it, you just fold it back. So you're folding onto the bubble side and giving it a good burnish. So I haven't burnished all mine yet. I should have done that. I'm a dummy. But yeah, let me just do it quickly because it's only 9 pieces. So generally you need 1 less than the amount of pages that you have. So if you've got 5 pages, you'll need 4 hinges. And I like to use black. This is my black album cardstock. I like to use black with everything. I'm so worried about the white getting dirty. So now the first step is, let me get this out of the way, is to take off the red tape from your cover, and then we're going to take the hinge, and if I can make sure that I am in shot here, we're going to take the hinge and we're going to secure it on that line. Now this is where we need to make sure that we have secured that hinge straight, because if your hinge is skew, then your album's going to go wonky. And if you look at it, you see that is your first hinge done. So the next one, the next page gets attached to that hinge. And what I'm going to do with the second page is, I'm not going to pull off the entire piece of tape, because like I said, we don't want things to go skew. And what I do is, I'm going to have to sit down for this, so I'm going to try and stay in shot. Sorry, I've got a very squeaky chair. So what I'm going to do is, I hold this onto my countertop so that I've got that whole square there, and the tape is sticking out at the top. I peel it away and I secure. So when I'm opening this up, this is my cover, there's your first page in. Does that make sense? And then it is a process of adhering hinge, page, hinge, page. So let me do the next hinge. And I tend to prefer to stand when I do this kind of thing, because if I sit, I go skew. So, and also this is why this pencil line is so useful, because it is my guide for adding my hinges, not just my tape, my hinges as well. So I'm in shot here. Secure, pull, stick. And that is, oh, you see there, I pulled off the tape and the, where's my burnishing tool? This is the problem with the red tape. I cut my nails, so it's a bit difficult to get it off. And what I'm going to do here now is, because I don't want the hinge to lift, really glue. Where's my pin? This always happens when I'm recording. Okay, so I'm putting a little bit of glue down just to make sure that my tape is stuck. I don't want it to come loose. Here's my hinge. So let's see if I can do this sitting. No, I can't. I have to stand and do this. So on the line, secure, and that's how we do it. So we try and do the whole book, maintaining that straight structure, and I will do that and come back to you in a minute. Okay, so I've done almost all mine. I just have the last one to do, and just want to do the last one, and then we can have a page through this baby. Okay, there we go. So book nicely all aligned, and if we page through, we will see that our hinges hold this little album all nicely together. And what I'm going to do is embellish it with my pattern paper, and then come back to you and show you what it looks like. But what I'd like to show you before I go away, before I end of the video, is to show you that that is your concertina there. So this book, as it is here, will be able to be, and that's the reason why we have a 3-inch hinge, is because we've got an inch there and an inch there, but we have that inch in the middle, and that inch gives us the ability to actually create some bulk in between the pages. So you can add flaps and you can add things, etc., and this will be able to expand. So you can see it can expand quite a bit. And what I normally tend to do is I finish this album, I do the entire thing, fit my photos, my flaps, and whatever I want to do, and then I add my cover, and I generally just add the cover until there or there, and then we do like a binding around the spine of the album. And for that you can use sticky back canvas, you can use cardboard. I do find that cardboard tends to crack and tear, so we will add Tyvek to our one so that it has some reinforcement, and that I will come and show you when I'm ready to do that. Yeah, but so I'm going to use the new the new Celebrate Stargazer collection for this little one, and then I will come back and show you what the completed album looks like. And that's it from me for the moment. Until next time, see you in cyberspace. Bye.